How's everybody doing? I got a hat. I'm trying to wear out all my Winter Park hats now. This one's from like 2019, 2020. Just digging them up. So,
So does it have any COVID?
that was 2021, 2022, wasn't it?
No, COVID was 2019, 2020
Oh,
primarily.
I guess it was
It
2019. Yeah,
started
this
out
was a
with,
COVID year. This was a COVID year. This is a boring hat. It's just boring gray. I don't really like the patch on it. I don't honestly think this is maybe the second time I've ever worn it. I'm just digging through my hats to see where everybody's at. Joanne, that's fine. Not a problem. Um, how's everybody's summer so far? Good? Yes? No? Hot? It looked like it wasn't supposed to be that hot, and then all of a sudden everything got very hot. It's good to see you, Jim. Who else is here?
um,
Cool.
if anyone is interested in going to Big Snow tomorrow, I'm going to be there.
Big snow. Wow. Is there skiing?
Yes, the indoor ski resort in New Jersey.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know about that.
Uh,
You've
yes, the
never
only
been?
reason to ever go to New Jersey.
And it's called Big Sky?
No, it's called
Big.
Big
It's
Snow.
kind of the same size.
There is no sky, it has a
Yeah.
roof. I think doesn't Kevin Jordan teach there?
Yes, he's going to be there October 21st to the 23rd.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that'll be right before ski season starts.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he's Snowmass. Snowmass doesn't really open until like
Who,
the middle of November.
for those who don't know, who is Kevin Jordan?
Kevin Jordan's one of the national team members. He's the ski school director at Snowmass,
Hmm.
but
And,
he's one of the chosen few.
and a children's specialist.
He's got
Children's
a
specialist.
he's got a YouTube page with a lot of really good clips on it.
He
Mhm.
does. He shows up on he's pretty regular on Instagram
TikTok and
too.
Instagram.
It's KJ Mountain underscore mountains is his Instagram. Instagram post.
KJ Mountains?
KJ underscore mountains, yes.
It's not Norton, it's Jordan.
Jordan, KJ, yeah, it's Jordan. I think he just posted something about, somebody had posted something about how Courchevel is really, really nice and one of the top areas in the world. And he did another post that was like in contrary to how Aspen is right there too. But all I wanted to say the whole time was, yeah, but the cost is completely different.
It's a paid political announcement.
The paid political announcement, exactly. So yeah, it's Kevin Jordan is his name. Jordan, Jordan.
It's like the river.
Yeah, he's like a lot of the national team members. What are there, like 5 national team members that all come out of the Aspen area? So yeah, and they all are in leadership in some way. So anyway, cool. So last week we had some success and we had some stuff that was not quite so successful. Could somebody repeat the dates of Big Snow again?
Oh,
21st.
October 21st. I'll put it in the chat to the 23rd.
Yeah, October 21st to the 23rd, right?
Yes.
That's what I remember.
And
So we
is he?
had some success.
I apologize, Chuck. Is he doing something special while he's there that we should be aware of? Yeah.
I
He's
don't
going to
know.
be
I mean,
going to be teaching. So the content will really be what the participants direct him to do. And he's a very nice person and he's very receptive to suggestions.
Okay.
I took a section with him last season at Big Snow, and that's what happened.
Yeah, he's extremely, extremely nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
as our national team members should be, right?
Mhm.
It helps that he's a little bit older too. So, all right. So last week the idea was is that trying to get a narrow focus, trying to be in a looking at just really being narrow with our vision of our objective descriptions. I'm taking the subjective part of it, which is the prescription for change and all of that, and I'm just putting that for aside for now, right? But really figuring out how to focus in on those, on just one fundamental, all three phases using one dirt all through three phases. And I know it doesn't seem like it's that hard, but honestly, it's a struggle. People get on the struggle bus really quickly on that, and I was a little surprised how hard it was for people to stay on topic. So I have like a little form here. I'm going to throw into the chat. And so we have, and the form is going to have 6 boxes. Bam, it's in the chat now. Please take a look at it, download it, steal it, whatever you want to do with it. It doesn't matter to me. It was AI created, so it's not a big deal. So basically, what an examiner is looking for you from an objective standpoint is what the ski performance is for 3 phases using some dirt, and then another description of what the body performance is through 3 phases, and then some relationship between the body and the ski. Right now, I am looking for an accurate description of ski performance and an accurate description of body performance. For a level 2 in the exam, you're going to be doing at least one full MA, ski performance, body performance, all 3 turns using dirt. You're going to be doing the prescription for change. You're going to be showing a relationship of why ski's doing with what the body's doing. And then you're going to be doing the objective part, which is this is what I'd like to see. We're not going to do that tonight. And then you're going to be probably doing another MA on a related fundamental, but it's going to be more, they call it tracking, and it's not going to be necessarily broke down into the all 3 finer points, right? All 3 phases, all 3 body ski. You don't have to do all that. Really, they're looking for I'm watching the skis rotate through the turn, and I'm noticing that's because there's leg rotation from the body that's causing that, right? And that's tracking it through the turn. It's not necessarily being a full broad description breakdown. For level 2 or for level 3, you're going to have to do 2 full MAs in the morning and 2 full MAs in the afternoon. You should have command of all the fundamentals. So you're going to have to do the ski performance. You're going to have to do the body performance. You're going to have to go back and do a ski performance to do a body performance. You need to show a relationship between the two. Because a person has upper body rotation, I notice that he's going back at the beginning of the turn, which is causing him to put more bending in the ski on the inside ski, blah, blah, blah. That's showing a relationship between the rotational part to ski pressure, right? Then you go to your prescription for change. I'd like to see more leg rotation so that he is more balanced and is able to pressure the outside ski instead of what he has been doing, which is doing a lot of upper body rotation, which balances him over the inside ski. Right? But we're not, again, I'm going to put that aside. So, but the expectation is that you're going to have to do you're going to need to fill in all 6 boxes, right? That's the objective. And that's why I'm trying to get really, really narrow today. So that you at the end of the lesson, at the end of tonight, will be able to recognize a ski performance and a body performance through all three phases of the turn using one dirt. I don't care what the dirt is. And we're going to focus on one fundamental at a time. We're not going to be looking at all the fundamentals. And the real chore that we really had trouble with last week, and this is not everybody, this is just, just some things that I was noticing is that we start speaking about one fundamental and then all of a sudden we're bridging over or putting our blinker on or some way we're changing lane into another fundamental almost seamlessly, right? And we need to be focused on just one. That's why I'm not at the fundamental part at the top. I'm leaving that blank. I did give you guys some homework on the two skiers that we have tonight that we're going to start out with. And those two skiers we're going to just briefly talk about edging because we're going to go right into other fundamentals as more practice because I got to get the practice part in. Okay. Yes, no, maybe, sometimes. Everybody in agreement? Cool. Okay. Does this help? Having this little graphic,
Yeah,
knowing that you need to have the check marks or the boxes? Rebecca says yes.
definitely.
Yes, this helps. I think it will help all of us if only, one of the things I said in the email was if we go into the on snow and the exam and we're talking about one fundamental and also we go to another fundamental in there, all that's going to do is A, confuse you because how do you backtrack over to the one that you need to do, fill all those boxes? And then the examiner is going to be like, where are we going with this? And they're already going to be confused too. And when you have a confused examiner, that usually means they're not going to be too friendly with their pencil. Yeah. That's the fear, right? All right, cool. So we have, what happened to my little, what I had share already. Where's share at? There he is. All right, cool. Bam. So here's our first skier. And just briefly, somebody talk to me what they wrote down in their notes for edging. How's this first? What are the skis doing edging wise?
This
So
is
the
Jerry.
line at the top. Go ahead.
This,
Go ahead, Jerry.
this is Jerry. I'm seeing very little edging at initiation and smaller. The edging increases a little bit in the shaping phase, and then the most edging is at the finish phase.
Okay. Can we add a little bit more dirt to that? So, I mean, he
Um,
kind of like, I got a little bit of edging at the initiation and more edging at the shaping. And then what happens in the finish?
the most edging is in the finish.
Are we talking about skis or are we talking about body?
I'm talking all about edges, the skis
Okay.
itself, and
Just, all right. So
what?
we're going to, because it sounds
Yeah,
like you're focusing in on kind of the ski part of it, right?
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. It's not a problem. I like it. Is that
And
what everybody else is seeing?
I wanted to make a comment, a remark, and you tell me if I'm on target with this. I see the skier placing the skis on edge through inclination and through taking the shoulders to the inside of the hill or inside of the turn.
Yeah. So the shoulder part, there was some commentary on this video, wasn't there?
So that's going to body performance, right?
That's
We're
going to
talking
body
about,
performance. Yeah, yeah.
are we talking
So
about
Yes,
ski
but
performance
but
still,
can
or are
we
we
also
talking
say
about
that,
body
oh,
performance?
sorry. Can we also say that the body performance is affecting the ski performance?
sure. But we also want to be able to separate the two. What was the thing that I heard? Body tells a story, the skis add the detail, and the snow records the truth.
I mean, what
So what that
body
basically
does
means,
results in whatever the ski performance is.
the ski performance is the result of what the body is doing.
No, that's what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Chuck, regarding,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's Kimberly regarding dirt. Is that
Uh-huh.
how much time they spend in each phase?
How long, how much, how fast, quickly,
Okay,
right?
so
And
I'm
so
thinking
duration, intensity, rate, when, those are all the
okay.
big ones, right? When,
Well, I was
where,
thinking
how, and
the
why.
initiation is short,
Uh-huh.
the shaping is a little bit longer, and then the finish is very long.
Okay, cool.
Resulting in kind of an apostrophe shaped turn.
Apostrophe shape. Yeah, I could get behind that. What do you guys think? That's
They
going back and looking at a chemo description right there, right?
I was going to say
The
going
action's
along.
happening quickly at the top, and then it kind of just is a
Oh.
long ride at the bottom. Go ahead, Laura.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I think going along with Alona, what Alona said, I just want to know if it's okay to say it this way, that I'm seeing that in shaping and in finishing, he's pushing his skis out away from him, and that's connected to that inclination, and it makes
Mhm.
him lean. So his body leans into the hill and then back up the hill at finishing because he's pushing the skis away instead of tilting them to get on an edge.
Cool. Could you put a relationship to the edging on that? To the edging and the tipping of the skis?
Um, well, what I'm saying is he's getting on edge by pushing the skis away from him instead of tipping the skis using his ankles. I'm not sure if that's.
So what does that result in terms of tipping? So when, how much
Oh, in terms
faster,
of his tipping,
when?
that's a slower way to get on edge. So he's going to be tipping the most later in the turn.
Cool. Like it. So you're showing a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's just he has so much force towards the end of it at the finishing phase that he sort of, and that's because he doesn't change the edges soon enough. He just sort of traverses too long, so the flat
Mhm.
skis too long, and then he just needs to release that power somehow, and that's why he like almost like that finishing stage is so long. And you
Sure.
notice that the other people notice that too. That he had this
Yeah,
coma shape and all that.
he's not trying not to get on edge quickly, right? It seems like he's
Exactly.
intentionally, and this is getting into the objective part of it, but it does seem like he was intentionally starting to slow down the edging part at the little bit at the top.
Mhm. Yeah, it's sort of like defensive. He's sort of like scared to change the edges too
Cool.
soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chuck, I have a question. If he has
Yeah.
an apostrophe shape, doesn't that mean he has a long initiation?
It's kind of a weird, this is a weird one. So, I mean, apostrophe is just a descriptive word. I mean, I think of it as because he does have kind of like a this is 90%. Why is it at 90%? Should be at 100%. So here's 100%. It's almost like he's kind of deliberately trying to extend the initiation. I see kind of like a shorter a shaping phase, a longer initiation, shorter shaping phase, and then a long finish.
Could it be that someone coached this person to say so
Well, I mean, he's
have a
clearly going down to a group down
gradual
there, right?
edge change?
Yeah. He's trying to be very intentional. Yeah.
So Chuck, I would say when I look at him, I at the skier, I say they are doing a fairly quick initiation to tip their skis on edge, but they do it to a low edge angle, and then they progressively increase the edge angle through shaping and
Mhm.
hits the highest edge angle late in the shaping uh, and through the start of the finish.
Yeah. Then we could kind of take what Laura was talking about and say the reason why that's happening is because he's kind of pushing the skis away from him in order to create the edge angle, which is why we're seeing such an inclination move. right? Instead of building angles, he's just pushing the skis away, a little deflection in order to get the skis to get on edge.
And they get at a higher edge angle as he pushes them away.
As he gets up, yeah, he has to try to create some balance there too. Cool. Let's look at our other skier. What do you guys got for notes on this guy? Add some people to it. Hey, Gay, how you doing?
So I see this skier creating an edge at initiation by having a leg length change. He has a shorter inside leg and he's directing pressure to the outside ski. And he's effectively placing the skis on edge throughout the initiation, the shaping, which is the longest phase of his turn, and the finish.
So let's backtrack a little bit about that, and
Mhm.
let's talk in terms of, instead of long leg, short leg, let's talk in terms of angulation and inclination.
So he has a combination of angulation and inclination to place the skis on their edge.
Okay.
And he's making a C-shaped turn as a result of his edge engagement and steering.
Okay. Let me ask, you mind if I ask you a quick question?
No, that's why I put myself out there to speak, which is something I
like
don't
it.
like to do.
Is the top part of the turn different than the bottom part of the turn?
Yes. It looks to me like there's um, a higher edge at the finish transition of the turn.
Cool. So the top half is different than the bottom half?
Yes, he's placing the skis on edge at initiation through a combination of angulation and inclination and directing pressure to the outside ski.
Sure. Okay. Let's simplify that down to the top half of the turn, there's more stuff happening than then at the bottom of the half of the turn? Or is it different than that?
I feel like the top half of the turn is about the same length as the bottom half. And I feel like he gets on edge early before the fall line, tipping both skis simultaneously. And he is doing pretty much carved turns, very different from the other skier, which was doing skidded turns. And he's doing it through a combination of inclination. He actually gets good lateral separation at his hips as he lets his feet, lets his skis move away from him. But he does that by kind of inclining to the inside and then building angles as he goes through the turn.
Okay. Do we break it down to ski performance first? Give me a little bit more. Fill in those 3 boxes.
Okay, so on ski performance,
At
at
initiation,
initiation, the skis tip simultaneously at the same rate, and they are the skis progressively get to a higher edge angle as he moves from the end of initiation through shaping. The skis are then at their highest edge angle at just past the apex. And as he moves into finish, the skis start to flatten out in preparation for the next turn.
cool.
So, Chuck, when you were asking about the difference between the top and the bottom,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody does this. This guy looks pretty darn good to me.
Yep.
But does he hold on to that edge a little too long, and then he has to rush just a bit at transition to get himself onto the new edge.
No, what do you think?
Well, that's what I'm thinking is
Okay.
that he holds on
This
to
is
his
the
edge.
objective. This is the objective part. So this
I,
is a good one to look at and say, you know, what I'm noticing is that kind of through the finish, he's still kind of like on a high edge almost until the end of the finish, and then the transition is very
I,
short.
I would, Brandon, wait. I wouldn't want to say park and ride because that sounds really negative, but
Mhm.
just a tiny bit of park and ride.
I mean, he's maximizing his ski performance, right? I wouldn't say it's necessarily park and ride,
Yeah, no,
but there are some traits there that, you know, he kind of rides that outside ski for. I think you're hitting the nail on the head. I'm
okay,
wondering why he's kind of hanging on for so long with such a high edge angle.
right. So then he he has to rush the part where the ski is flat getting onto the new edge,
Right.
the transition.
Yeah.
I would say why he's hanging on to that edge at the end of the turn is because he needs more work on maintaining counter from initiation at the initiation phases of the turn. And
Yep.
that will help them if he can maintain counter, release the edges simultaneously at the top of each turn, versus you really see it when he skis past you. He tips that soon to be inside ski before the outside ski.
Mhm.
And as everything happens very quickly at the shaping phase, things
Yeah.
slow down throughout the finish phase, and then it's basically wash, rinse, repeat. Instead
Yeah.
of moving vertically down the hill or with the hill, he's got that upward extension, which creates that.
Cool. That's very clear. Taking what Scott said about the skis and then applying what the body is doing to it. And then using some other outside reference. You're using some fundamental, not some fundamental, I'm sorry, one of the common threads, not maintaining counter through the turn. And that delays his ability to move from turn to turn. You know, one of the other things I'm noticing too is that it looks as though he's just constantly accelerating. And he's not, I mean, that might be something he's willfully doing, but the task is to be able to show that you can maintain the same size turn without getting them longer and longer and longer.
And if he's constantly accelerating with that, probably he's not finishing his turn adequately.
Yeah, well, and yeah, it starts, you got to start asking your questions, right? Why is he unable to check his speed?
Was there a
Because
task on this skier?
I'm sorry.
Was there a task for this skier?
The task is medium radius turns.
Oh, okay.
I would say his speed is picking up very aggressively because he's not using the shape of the ski. He's trying to, and this is moving into a different fundamental, but he's trying to rotate the skis very abruptly to maintain speed control during the shaping phase versus moving along the length of the ski in order to help the edges engage at the top of the turn, the tip of the ski, and then work all the way through the tail of the ski.
Cool. Agree? Everybody agree? Disagree?
I thoroughly agree. I suspect that if he were to,
I think he does need to close off his turns more. He's got two choices to control his speed. He can either skid his skis more or he can control them by turning them more across the hill. Because if you look at his tracks, it's pretty carved what he's doing. And that's why he's picking up so much speed. So if he wants to continue with a carved turn, he needs to close off his turns more at the end. So he's got his skis going more across the hill to cut speed.
All right, we beat up this guy enough for this fundamental. Um, who's the better skier
This guy.
between the two that we looked at?
This guy.
This guy? Is this our L3 candidate?
Yes.
Why?
He's creating more angles in his skiing. He's skiing a more dynamic turn
Mhm.
using more edge. And there's more leg turning here rather than just kind of using inclination and skidding.
I'd also say he's a little bit more consistent as well compared to the other skier.
More consistent?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's checking most of the boxes.
It's checking a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Well, this
Uh,
is definitely seems more like a performance term that you wouldn't even be asked to do at a level 2.
Yeah, we're not gonna be, I don't wanna, I just want to compare and contrast the two
Okay.
skiers in terms of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to get into it, I mean, from an examiner standpoint, the skier on the left, the more accomplished skier needs to be able to show all the fundamentals at an adequate level. And the skier on the right needs to show at least three to be successful in this task. So what are the differences and what are the similarities? And I'm going to open this up. Let's pick another fundamental. I already heard outside ski or ski to ski pressure. Let's go with that one.
Well,
What are the differences between the two skiers? What are the similarities?
I think that the skier on the right
Uh-huh.
has more pressure on the inside ski at shaping and in finishing for sure because he's primarily using inclination. And so that is bringing his weight to his inside ski. Whereas a skier on the right, his body is using a lot of angulation at his hip joint, which is bringing his pressure to the out. He's directing his pressure to the outside ski more successfully.
How? So
By
you're using one fundamental to demonstrate another
Oh wait,
fundamental.
oh I see. Right. I'm sorry. Okay. That's right, Angie. It's summer. And I was on
Yeah, I
vacation
know.
for most of the summer. Okay. So
All right. I don't have a problem with what you said.
okay, but right.
I'm
So
gonna
so what
stay in
he's
a lane.
to direct pressure to the outside ski, he is shortening his inside leg and lengthening his outside leg, um, which is putting more of his pressure on the outside ski.
Sure. You're talking about the one on the left, right?
Yes, that's
And
the skier on the
what's the
left.
guy doing on the right?
On the right, we are our legs are saying more the same length. I mean, obviously the inside one has to be a little shorter or the ski wouldn't be on the snow on the outside, but he has his legs are more the same length.
Okay. What
You
other visual evidence can we use?
you also have to add to that, because I've been caught on this recently, that the skier on the left, he's definitely got a shorter inside leg than his outside leg, much more than the skier on the right, but he also creates more angles. He's got that lateral angulation at the hip, which directs pressure to the outside ski versus the skier on the right, who's very inclined, which puts too much weight on the inside ski.
But
Can we
wait,
use that without, can we
but see,
talk
when I
about
was
that,
saying
Scott?
inclination and angulation, then
Yeah.
Chuck told me that I was on edging, not on ski to ski pressure.
Can you say all that, Scott, without talking about inclination or angulation?
So the skier on the left is better aligned over the outside ski than the skier on the right. The skier on the right is more aligned over the inside ski.
Okay. How is he more aligned over the outside ski?
By having a shorter inside leg and a longer outside leg, and having his center of mass aligned with his outside ski rather than his inside ski.
Because of the shortening or the lengthening?
Because of the shortening of the inside leg and the lengthening of the outside ski and the tipping, which directs.
I know tipping is, we're going right back to that.
I know, but
again, right?
I don't know how you can take lateral angulation out of the ski to ski.
There's nothing wrong with using, it's not lateral angulation, it's lateral separation.
Well, okay, lateral separation.
So because he's using a shorter inside leg and a longer outside leg, that allows him to have some lateral separation, which lines the center of mass over the outside ski more efficiently.
Right.
While the other one has, even though one leg is slightly shorter than the other leg, he's not doing it enough to create any lateral separation to align the center of mass over the outside ski.
Okay, so you're trying to use the word lateral separation as opposed to angulation.
I have no problem using lateral separation.
No, I know, that's fine. That's what you were looking for me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What I don't want you to do, and what I kind of caught you out on, was it's very easy for us to try to relate one fundamental to another, but if they're not asking for that, what happens when we can't use that fundamental?
Right.
We have to be able to separate them.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
can you tell us exactly what you mean by lateral separation?
So lateral separation is separation in the pelvis. So if I can't see myself, so you're gonna have to tell me if I don't know what I'm doing. But lateral separation is if I shorten the inside leg, in order for me to balance over the outside leg, I have to bend at the pelvis or lift the inside of the pelvis up. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So this is me skiing, right?
Mhm.
Does it look like I'm skiing? Right? You know, I mean, if I do this and then tip into the turn, hopefully I won't crash and burn here, but if I tip into the turn this way, that looks like skiing, right?
Right.
Because I'm creating an angle here at the pelvis.
Right.
That's separation
That's what you mean. So you're
between the upper body and the
separating,
lower body.
you're separating
So
the upper
separation
body and
is
the
three
lower
different
body.
ways. We have rotational separation, right? Where the
Mhm.
leg turns inside the hip socket. We have lateral separation where we move laterally.
Okay.
And then we have vertical separation, which is, again, this idea of hiking one side up.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so we're watching the skier on the left and we're looking at it and we notice he's creating some angles. But we can't really say anything about angulation because that's not the task. Task is outside ski pressure. So we need to say something along the lines of, because he's more aligned over the outside ski, using some lateral separation, he's able to more efficiently pressure the outside ski. Do I think he's doing it to the best of his ability? No. But he's doing it enough that it looks like it's pretty good. And then the skier on the right does not create any lateral separation. I mean, it's maybe a little bit there, but there's almost none of it there. And that's because he's very, very square to the skis.
Could whoever is having a background conversation mute yourself, please?
can't
So,
tell.
Chuck, what's the difference between the lateral separation and angulation at the pelvis?
One of those is fundamental related. The other one is not.
Oh,
Ah. So if we
so
have to talk in
what's
a language of
terminology?
ski to ski pressure, but we can't use angulation and inclination, which is because we see it, right? We're looking at the guy on the left, we're going, hey, there's some angulation that's happening there.
So this is just a matter of terminology right now.
It is a matter of terminology and isolation. I've got to isolate one fundamental from another fundamental. Because you'll get in trouble. Like I said, you'll get in trouble in front of an examiner if you throw the blinker on and all of a sudden you're talking about how angulation is helping him pressure the outside ski.
Okay,
Because they're going to be like, oh, okay, you've opened that door. Let's go through that door.
Even though
Yes.
And now you're in
angulation, even though
now you're in the process
angular
of defending
separation
yourself.
is the same as angulation.
Lateral separation is a form of angulation, yes.
it's the same as hip angulation. Is that what you're saying?
It's not necessarily in the hip all the time, but yes.
Well, if
It
okay, but
allows
if,
us to pressure more efficiently the outside leg because we're aligning the center of mass. But here, think of it this way. Okay. Center of mass for me is right here, right? Is it over one leg or the other right now?
No.
Mm-mm.
No,
Over
but as
both.
soon as I hit one side up, which leg has now got more center of mass over it?
Right leg.
The right
Bending
leg.
leg.
Well, this leg, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe left to you. I don't know.
Well, it is left to us,
But
but we can
that's how
still
we
see it's our
create,
right
that's
leg.
how we get the alignment over the outside leg.
Oh,
Okay.
Cool?
Mhm.
Questions? Or have I just completely blown everybody's mind?
So just by me, so just by means of review. So if I want to speak about edging, I'll use the word, but my fundamental is edging, then I will use angulation. If I want to
Angulation
talk
and inclination, yes.
angulation, inclination. If I
Yes.
want to use ski to ski pressure, then I want to use lateral separation.
You can use lateral separation.
Okay.
But in the case of the
just,
person on the right,
yeah,
over here, there's not much lateral separation for us to talk about. And what we're
right.
watching here is banking. The
Yeah,
whole
he's
body is
banking.
moving in and he's balancing over the inside leg. Right?
So we want to talk about, let's talk about the edging, which was like in the email. Okay, then we'll say, listen, he's banking. There's not a lot of angulation going on. There's a lot of inclination going on. And therefore his edge angles are not so great. They and therefore they could be higher. And then we're going to say, okay, but let's talk about ski to ski pressure. Then we're going to say, well, his lateral separation is not so high, and therefore it shows that he's and therefore his ski to ski pressure is not, it's not so great. That's it. So it's really like just kind of refining like the language that I'm using to describe the particular fundamental, even though the reality is it is the same thing.
Yeah, so yes. The answer is yes. You don't necessarily have to say it right then. What you can say right now is, I'm noticing the skier on the right is struggling with pressuring the outside ski because he tips as a unit, which means he's kind of he's banking, which means his center of mass is more aligned over the inside leg. Done. I'm now done, right? I don't have to say any more. When you get into the prescription for change, that's when you can start saying, I'd like to see more separation between the upper and lower body. That's going to allow the center of mass to be over the outside ski sooner in a turn. And without talking about edging, if I can get him to create some angles, that's going to help him with that ability to do that. That's in the prescription for change. Right now, we're trying to be objective and just say what we see. Cool? Does that help, Rabbi? Yes, no, maybe, just nod up and down. All right, cool. Good. Questions? All right, let's get to some breakout rooms. Let's do some breakout rooms. So we've got these two skiers, and I've got two additional skiers. And short initiation, long finish. I think that's fine, Laura. I know this is from 25 minutes ago. I think those descriptions are not necessarily written in stone, but I think if you, instead of saying comma or apostrophe, if you can just say the more action's happening at the top of the turn and then there's not a lot of action happening at the bottom of the turn, that works just as well. And maybe even more descriptive. So good night, Anna. We'll see you later. And let me create some breakout rooms. And I'll do two of them. I'm just going to stop automatically right now. Right, we still have quite a few people. So, Kelvin, spot, Scott. Cool. Yeah. Actually, these worked out. Go to your rooms.
A few moments later.
Did you guys have a lively conversation in your room there, Laura?
Our room was excellent. I give us an A+. We were so good, we don't even have to prove ourselves to you.
I'll second that.
That's right. I knew Scott would second it for me.
So lots of arguing and infighting. I like it.
No, we were great. We agreed. We were productive. We were actually really good.
We shall see.
No, I'm telling you, we were good.
Well, we only got about 17 minutes, so let's get quickly through these. I'm going to go ahead and ask the room that I was in to go first because I've got these already up. And there's going to be a quick description. Matter of fact, why don't you? Who's going to volunteer first? Who's going to speak first?
Is our group going first?
No, the other group.
Okay.
We had nominated the Rabbi Yitzhak to think out.
Rabbi, do you want to go?
He just left.
I think.
He escaped.
Didn't we have
that scary?
as a backup? Didn't we have Rabbi? How do I say her name? Ilana.
Ursula was there. Is she around? Or did she?
I'm here, but I don't think I'm ready.
Oh, give it a try.
Okay.
Give it a try.
So we start with skis.
Chuck, can you show us the skier?
Yeah, show the skier.
We're going to show the skier after the description. And then you get to agree or disagree. Cool. Go ahead, Ursula.
So the skis were not turning with a body, and they were sort of initiation was very delayed. So basically, the skis would turn at the shaping phase, but that was very like abrupt. It wasn't like a progressive or continuous move. And then they were not parallel. The outside ski, so you would have a little bit of a stem, and then that stem would continue through the shaping stage, which would delay the outside ski at the at the in that shaping state, and then at the finishing stage they would be parallel. Um, and that's it.
Okay, so so what happened at the initiation phase?
Initiation phase was so that was sort of like delayed, but like very close to the shaping stage would start, and the outside ski would be in a stem. I mean, sort of
Okay,
would
so
be so like it would not be the skis would not rotate simultaneously. It
okay,
would be
so they're
like
not
one to move.
rotating at the same time. One's moving
Yes,
before the other.
yes,
And then you mentioned the outside ski.
yes. That would go first before the
Okay,
inside.
so both skis at initiation, would they both turn quickly, slowly, not at all?
Initiation is sort of like very late, and because of that, because it was so delayed, that turn would be very like abrupt. It wouldn't be
Okay,
like gradual.
so both skis would turn pretty quickly, with the
Yes,
outside ski turning more.
yes, or like going
And then
first.
at the
Yes.
shaping phase, what happened there?
At
Did
the
it continue
shaping
to go
phase,
faster or?
well, at the shaping phase, that inside ski
Uh-huh.
becomes more sort of um, begins to turn more, but that sort
Uh-huh.
of delays the outside ski.
Okay, so the inside ski is speeding up and the outside ski is slowing down.
Yes.
Okay, and
And
then what happens in the finish?
and the finish, both skis are parallel again. But at the
They're
time, yeah.
parallel, but are they continuing to turn or are they just what are they
No,
doing?
no, they don't turn with the body.
They just kind of turn with the body?
I mean, yes, they turn with the body, but they should not. So they turn with the body, but they don't do not
No, that's
turn
it. Don't say
independently.
anything else.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you for your help.
You're already like, I want to include the body in there. No, they stop turning, right?
Yeah.
In relation to the body, they stop turning,
Yeah.
right? Cool. Anybody want to talk about the body? Somebody besides Ursula, since I feel like we kind of ambushed her.
I appreciate that though, because I sort of knew I understood it, but yeah, thank you
No,
for
it's
letting me.
good that you speak to it because you allows you the opportunity to organize your thoughts,
Yeah,
which is what's important.
yeah.
So at initiation, the shoulders
Whoop.
turn before I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The turn is initiated by shoulder rotation.
Okay.
And the shoulders continue throughout most of the turn to the legs are not rotating independently of the upper body throughout
Well,
the
they're rotating because of the upper body. Yes.
I think they'll stop right there. So there is very
So
little.
does it have do they turn faster or slower? Do the shoulders turn faster or slower at initiation?
The shoulders turn faster than the legs at initiation, and at they continue to turn consistently with the legs rather than separate from the legs.
Okay. You guys ready? Here we go. Here's our two skiers. Do you guys agree, disagree? I mean, be nice, obviously.
Yeah, the one on the left is all upper body rotation. I think that's what I
No, the
heard.
funny thing is it's kind of subtle, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just slow and consistent.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps slowing down. It should be, I gotta get these up to speed here. Here we go. This is real speed, but it's pretty abrupt.
Well, and also I think you can the I think Ursula was talking about the skis aren't parallel, and I think that's because of the upper body rotation.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she
I mean, the question I posed to her was, what is the how confident are you that the outside ski is moving before the inside ski? 90%, 80%, 99.9%, right?
Hey,
And that's a leading question because if you see upper body rotation, there's you have a 99.9% likelihood the outside ski is moving before the inside ski. Even at the high levels, you'll see the outside ski move before the inside ski. It's just more subtle. They're just more practice at it. You have to look for it. And then briefly, what would be the prescription for change for these two in the rotational realm? And just briefly track it. What would you like to see them do instead?
Oh, at Bill's. That's where she went?
Just go ahead, Gay. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
and use the fundamental as a way to kind of guide your thoughts. That's where our rabbi was talking about. He was like, well, I'd like to see them consistently turn the legs separate from the upper body. I go, that's the fundamental. Ski rotation is controlled through leg rotation separate from the upper body. That's the fundamental. It just doesn't add in the parts about consistent, smoothly, all those other parts. We just want to see leg rotation, controlling the skis, moving through the turn.
Or several days.
Yeah.
but the fundamental is the ideal.
The fundamental is the ideal. Yeah. That's why I would say always lean on the fundamental. You know, ideally, I'd like to see both skiers turn their legs consistently from top to bottom. That's going to control the skis so that they turn smoothly from top to turn consistently through from top to bottom of the turn.
and we're not trying to come up with like the drill we'd have them do or anything like that right now.
No, no, not at this point. This is MA, right? This is MA. So the prescription of a change, they might come back and say, hey, what kind of drill would you like to do with this?
To allow you to hopefully rebuild,
And
right?
then we could start talking about, I don't know, I mean, falling leaf,
Pivot
pivot slips.
turns.
I mean, there's a million of them, right? I mean, shoot, even leg rotation, you want really good leg rotation, power wedge turns. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's getting into that objective side about how we're going to lead a lesson. Cool. All right. Who's going to talk about you guys were so good. You in the L3 group that you just ready to go and I don't even have to show the person, right? Well, folks.
No, you don't have to show them.
All right, go ahead. Who's going to talk?
All right, I'll go, and you guys can fix what I say.
Why don't you just talk about the skis? We'll let somebody else do the
Well, we were looking at fore aft as a primary and tracking
right.
rotary.
All right, cool.
And the first skier, I think, was Josh. And Josh actually, at initiation, his skis are bending from the center, and he appears to be well balanced. As he moves into shaping or as he starts his initiation, the skis are guided simultaneously into the turn. There is slightly more pressure on the tips, And as he moves into shaping, the skis continue to turn at a constant rate, and he's centered over his skis, and that continues through the finish. And it's basically good skiing.
That was
How
Stu,
is he compared to?
that's Stu, not Josh.
So
That
that was
was
Stu.
That
Okay,
was-
maybe I got
Let's do
yeah.
the first
So
skier.
the second skier we didn't like as much. I thought that was Stu, but maybe I got him backwards.
Stu is
And
the guy, yeah, this guy who was in the email.
yeah, so the second skier was
Josh.
at
Josh.
Josh. Okay, at initiation, he was slightly back, slightly off. The skis are bending more behind the heel. And as he starts his turn, he moves to almost center briefly. So he's fairly centered on the skis. They call it bending from center. We're talking about ski performance. And then as soon as he moves into the beginning of shaping, the skis start to bend from the back again. And that continues all the way through the finish. So he tends to be aft throughout all three phases of the turn.
All right. Hey, Laura, talk to me about rotation. How is it? What's happening in the rotational realm?
Um, so for the guy that,
Let's just talk about Josh.
yeah, for Josh, he did not have as much rotation either from upper body or skis as we would like, because he was really had an open turn shape and he was just going faster and faster. So he needed more rotation, and obviously that should be leg rotation, but he had very little upper body, lower body separation. And what we felt like was that he was turning from his shoulders, that he was lifting his outside shoulder and dropping that inside shoulder, and he was using his shoulders to make the turn. And so at transition there was very little counter. And but I think our first thing for him was, dude, you just got to get some turning going on, because you're not really into rotating as much as you need to be.
And
Okay, so
yeah, we also said that he was so aft he wasn't able to really rotate.
cool. So
Oh, right.
I'm hearing that we want to turn more, but you're not telling me what we need to turn. Can you be more body specific, Laura?
He needs to be turning his legs under a stable upper body, and right now he's not doing that. The rotation that he has is coming from his shoulder movement.
Okay, cool. Now we can go into why is he unable to turn his legs separate from his upper body?
And the reason he can't turn his legs and turn his skis is that he's so far aft. His skis at initiation, the tips of them just don't have a lot of contact with the snow.
Well, yes, but that's not really the reason why.
Well,
Is it?
isn't it?
He's not able to separate his upper body because of being so aft.
But he can't turn his legs. Why?
Because his
Be
legs are already
biomechanically sound.
engaged. His legs are engaged to hold him up. It makes him inefficient, so he's not able to use them to rotate because he's not in a balanced position.
Okay.
And I'm not really understanding this. Like, when you say, why can't he turn his legs? I'm like, I don't know.
His muscles are otherwise engaged in
Okay.
holding him up.
So, yeah, let me go ahead and show him, and then we can have a discussion about that, because that's a valid point, right? We want to be able to show that we can turn our legs. All right, let's first look at these two skiers, and let's say, does everybody agree with the description? So the first one was the guy on the right.
And we haven't talked as much about him.
That's all right. We
He's really
beat
well
him to death
balanced.
already earlier. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on him,
Okay.
other than to do a compare and contrast between him and Josh, right? So Stu is, from what I understand, he's fairly well balanced for aft wise, which allows him to. We didn't really talk about the rotational part, but can he turn his legs?
Yeah, he maintains counter through transition and he's able to turn his legs. The only thing we really didn't like is he doesn't use pole plants.
I will disagree that he maintains counter through transition.
Oh, okay.
I think he pushes the inside ski forward where he loses his ability to counter. And it's like right there, right? He's still kind of in the,
Would you
oops.
say he's in the shaping phase of the turn at that clip that you just showed?
Yeah, so he gets about right here and watch the inside leg move forward, the new inside leg. And what does that do to the pelvis? So it used to be pointing down the hill here.
Yeah,
It
makes
opens
his
it.
pelvis point to the outside.
It starts to point to the outside. So he's losing his counter, right? And that also affects his ability to rotate his legs because now he's blocked, right? He can't really turn one leg and the other leg is doing the supporting because he's rotated over it. So, so he's not maintaining counter. I think that's his big fault is that he doesn't maintain counter. And it's pretty obvious. I mean, we're here and all of a sudden that inside leg, the new inside leg is considerably further forward than the new outside leg.
And this is the guy we looked at the beginning of the hour, right?
At the beginning of the hour, yes.
Whoever said that he has that big extension, that's because he has to have that extension, that up and over move to get himself around.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. So he has a big extension because the outside leg has got the new inside leg is blocking his ability because he moves it forward and it's extended. Now he's got to get over it. And the only way he could do that is to rotate over the top of that leg, which is why you see at the initiation just a little bit of a stem, just a tiny stem movement, because he's got to figure out how to get right there. See that little movement out with the inside leg or the new outside leg? Because the inside leg is blocking his ability to move to the inside of the new turn. Does he practice that? He's good skier, don't get me wrong. And he's getting good angulation building, starting to build with his lower legs. But boy, that inside leg is killing him right now. Because he's not holding it back. He's allowing it to move forward, and it's blocking his ability to rotate into the new turn. Cool. Yes. And then when we got this guy over here, it's actually even worse. Watch how quickly he moves the inside leg before he starts to tip in. So what does he got to do instead? I think the description of the turn shape was very apropos. It's a very open turn, right? It's not like a consistently C-shaped turn. It's a more of a parentheses turn. It's considerably longer than it is sideways, which tells me that's a fail. I mean, at least Stu over there is trying to make more of a rounder turn and finish the turn off. I'd like to see a little bit more of that with him. But this guy what do you make, like 5 turns starting at the top of the way up there as a spec the whole time? I mean, it was very long turns and not much deflection from side to side.
He has an overflexion of his knee and hip, which places him in an aft position. Was that the question you had asked?
I would ask that too, but again, I mean, what is he doing? Because here, look at his upper body rotating to the outside of the turn. What's happening? What's the key thing that we have all talked about a million times? You hear it over and over and over again. What is he doing?
So
how is he moving to the inside of the turn?
Hip dump.
Okay.
The shoulder
Hip dump.
and yes.
Wait.
It's the hip dump. The hip is leading the charge. So he gets it right there, and then There's a hip dump, right?
No,
So his
make
body's
his,
pointing to the outside of the turn where it should be pointing to the inside of the turn.
yeah, okay, I don't think I understand this very well. So, okay, so you're saying in this position, he's supposed to be turning back to the right now. So his upper body should be facing down the hill with the skis, but instead his upper body is essentially turned towards the trees on his left.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, and the inside ski is farther forward than it should be. And then
Yes.
what is the purpose of the hip dump? That's what's going to allow him to make this turn
Well,
to the right.
you're gonna figure this out because this is on the ladder of we all go through, right? It's a very, very strong position because we literally could stick the right leg or the outside leg out there and stand on it and then
Yeah.
balance on the inside leg, and it feels awesome. And you're using ski performance to make the turn because look at his position right now. If he tried to use leg rotation here, Laura, how much more range of motion does he have?
None.
He's kind of used it all up, right? Because his
You're
body's
saying,
pointed out, and his skis are pointed in, right? His body's pointed out, and his skis are pointed in. He doesn't have a whole lot more left to go. So he's got to tip in and use ski performance to do it. If he kept his body more down the hill and used this, he gives himself all that range of motion back. But none of that really matters because when he gets to here, we now know why he dumps in.
Mhm.
Because even if he did keep
why?
the upper
Wait,
body
why?
to the inside of the turn,
Why does he dump in?
He's sitting
because
in a
he's on the back of the skis.
he's sitting in a chair, so he has, like Scott said, his muscles are engaged. He can't move. He doesn't have any range of motion in his ankles, knees, and hips. He's just using all of that energy to sit in a chair. So he doesn't have the ability with his muscles and joints to be able to ski correctly and align himself over his outside ski and maintain separation of
And
his upper and lower body.
and if
Yeah, so we always talk about this all the time,
Bend.
right? If we bend a little bit back, my ability to lower the turn the legs, if I go back and now I'm on my heels, I don't have a lot of range of motion here to turn my legs. I can do this and I can do this, but this isn't what we're trying to do. What we want to be is here. If I can be here, look at all the range of motion I got back. Right? But if I'm back here and I'm just trying to balance and I got to use my thighs to do it, this is the only thing all I can do is tip. I can't turn. So give that a try and you'll understand immediately what that problem is.
Yeah.
So he has to make compromises on what he's trying to do. I want to be performancy. I want to go fast. I want to feel strong. But I'm compromised because the legs only have one idea at a time. They either are holding us up or they are turning. They can't do both. Does that make sense?
yes. Yeah, so biomechanically, when you're sitting like that and all of those muscles are really tight, I mean, just to hold you up in that
Yeah.
position, those our ball and socket joint just can't do very much.
No, because it's actually physically trying to hold us up.
Right, it's stuck because it tries to
It's
hold us
stuck.
up. Right.
Yeah, but as soon as I move forward and I'm now over the balls of my feet, I get all of this back. And now I
Right.
can efficiently turn my legs through the turn instead of tipping in and allowing ski performance to do it for me.
And
So like if you ever do like, an exercise like a wall squat with the ball, just go into that position and try to see if you could actually make a turn with your skis.
Yeah, try to turn your legs. You'll find the only thing you can do is tip. You can tip your legs, but you can't really turn them
right. And
because you're
this is also the position where like if he goes into the bumps or anything steeper, he's going to just get massive quad exhaustion.
Oh, he's gonna, well,
Oh,
it won't
yeah.
be just that. He's gonna get bucked. Right?
Right.
Because not only is he trying to support himself, but he's not giving himself the ability to be elastic. Right? And the bumps are gonna come up. And if your thighs are again fully immersed in trying to hold you up, and all of a sudden a bump hits you,
He's
you're gonna be in
already
trouble.
back.
Yeah, he's already back.
He's already back, and that bump's gonna put you.
He's gonna throw him backwards even more because he's engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but don't worry, everybody goes through this thing. I mean, me, my God, right? I loved being able to stand on the outside leg and hip dump. It felt awesome. Ask Dion. It feels great. And you are like, wow, look at the arc turns I'm making, right? It feels great. And then I got Jim over there going, you know that thing I've been telling you not to do? Just stop doing that. But if I, as soon as I get into bumps, I'm immediately like, yeah, what I'm trying to do is not working. It's a bad idea. So yeah. So does that make sense, Laura? So you can repeat back to me why we have the ability to turn our legs when we're sitting back?
Well, I've got very noisy dogs, and so you're going to have to hear the dogs in addition to me. But yes,
That's all right.
if you're sitting back, your
Uh-huh.
thighs and all those muscles in your pelvis are working to hold you in that position. So there's no way that the ball can turn in the socket joint because it's literally locked in there.
Yeah, cool. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Stu's better. Stu's better.
Stu's
He's a
definitely
little bit, I mean, he's more balanced over his skis, so he gets a little bit more leg rotation. There's still an upper body rotation that's happening right there, but he's still, at least the skis are turning more than the upper body briefly. He gets to that kind of same position here, and it's like, what happened to the leg turning? Just stopped. Right. And then there's a leg turn there, and then it's like, but again, a lot of that's because of this. The similarities between these two are that that inside leg is blocking his ability to rotate his legs and tip efficiently. He's just better at it because upper body stays more down the hill, which allows him to tip his lower legs better. And this guy is not tipping his lower legs at all. Matter of fact, when you go back up here, that's a pretty heavy duty A-frame, right?
Mhm.
And then you start the new A-frame on this side. And then he gets to right there, and there's the A-frame. That's a pretty heavy duty A-frame. Which means the angulation's only happening on the outside leg. And that might be the next step for him. He might be trying to drive the knee down in order to create more angles. How do I know that?
I gotta go. I've got a hungry kid and
All
three
right.
noisy
No.
dogs.
We went further, but
Bye, everybody.
all right.
Thank you.
We're done. We're done. That was a lot better than last week. Last week we really struggled. All right. Quickly, Keith, what did you get out of tonight?
I think I got out of night with out of tonight better recognizing with my eyes what the skis are doing when.
Cool.
You know,
cool.
Because part of it's a calibration. You're calibrating yourself on what you're seeing, and what's the proper way to then describe what you're seeing.
Yeah. Cool. That's what my goal was. I wanted to narrow it down so we were only focused on those pieces that I really want to be able to get out of it. All right. What about you, David?
I'm trying to get my head back into all of this now. It's so good. I'm just, it literally just going over fundamentals and dirt and so forth, and just getting my head back into it after a few months.
Cool. Yeah. Todd, what about you?
I would have to agree with everybody else. I'm trying to put the monkey back in the cage and get everything right. I just worked 12 and a half hours today.
Yeah,
I'm going to Palm de Terre next weekend, so the time and everything is just.
that's
I've
all
got
right, man.
more books to take with me and work.
There you go. Good. All right. Mike, what about you? Mike Thorpe.
Watching it and listening. The more I do of this, the more I get out of it.
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you.
I think the more I get out, the more I do this, the more I get out of it.
Okay, cool. Good.
And I think I wound up in the wrong breakout room.
Good. Good. Ralph?
Yeah, it just, like a couple of people said, getting back into the swing of things, but I'm reminded that I really need to go back to the technical manual again and really zero in on some of the fundamentals and the nuances and trying to stick to, that one fundamental without bleeding into something else or going off on a tangent. So
I'm
not
going to be
easy.
really harsh on that this year because we got in a habit of just kind of like bouncing around and some of the focuses I've had in the past is what are you actually seeing and without really creating some boundaries, but this year is going to be a lot more boundary oriented. Rebecca, how about you?
Pretty much the same. It's like getting focused on paying attention to one fundamental at the time and not shifting gears. And also
Cool.
to getting the eyes accustomed to looking for what the skis are doing and what the body is doing.
Cool. Good. Gay, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I really need to stick with working on one fundamental at a time because it's real easy for me to jump off of that one fundamental. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is helpful for that. And it sounds like that's going to be more worked on. Thank you.
Yeah, good. How about you, Jimbo?
Sorry. This is basic literacy. I'm learning the basic literacy for some of this stuff.
Okay.
I'm effectively a new instructor. I was an
No,
instructor 110 years ago and just returned to PSA this year.
so what was a word that you learned tonight?
Oh, just the fundamentals. I'm saying the five fundamentals and sticking
The
with,
five
all right,
fundamentals. Yeah, yeah.
and the notion that we're gonna, don't fall into the trap of the blender, I'll call it the blender
Yeah,
of,
exactly. Ugh.
cross diagnosing across different fundamentals. Focus, pick a fundamental, really think about it and where it might be breaking down or etc.
All right, cool. Good. All right,
Thank you.
guys, thank you very much for coming and
Thank you. Appreciate it.
have a great night. Yeah.